Welcome, everyone, to the Crazy Kryptonaut channel. I am going to go ahead and apologize. There is someone outside who has decided that now is the proper time for using their weed whacker. And so hopefully it is not coming through on y'all's end with the audio. I'm not certain with the new microphone if that is an issue or not. And so please do let me know just so I can plan for the future. But otherwise, what's up, Crazy Chester? Howdy, Kukla, Neil, HK. Thank you guys so much for joining this afternoon. I am, I'm very excited for the first little thing that we get to go through. I don't know how many people did actually watch the different Solana meme coin videos, but needless to say, we have made a lot of money, like a substantial amount of money since Wednesday night. And so I am excited to go through and take some profits with everyone and show everyone how you would go about actually selling a token that you have made some money on. And so we are going to be doing that during the stream. And then, of course, we're going to be going through and looking at the crypto news. And so that is going to be our afternoon. We're gonna make some money because we have made a decent amount of dollars. So we're going to take that out and, of course, the news. And so, oh, David, I'm here with the apple. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate the apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, so they say. I'm not certain about the validity of that one, but Karen, wow, I'm excited for you, Zester C. Thank you. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, it's not enough money for me to be done working, but it has been a lot of fun, and it does make learning a lot more enjoyable when we do have things that are kind of on the line. There's more of a vested interest in the learning when it's real money. When it comes down to it, we are learning, and at the same time, if we learn well and we do well in terms of understanding and picking up on these different topics, we are directly rewarded. And so it is far different than when we're receiving our education in the vast majority of our schooling, where, in all honesty, we did a whole lot of work and we were never rewarded for having done so. And so cryptocurrency is definitely different in that regard. There is a direct correlation between your learning and your success inside of it. And so I Zester that song, money, money, money. Woo! Yeah, there we go. Oh, Kukla, Tino is doing well. He's being a bum. He's sitting right over here. Matter of fact, let me wake him up real quick. He needs to come over and say hello. Yes, buddy. All right. I try to keep him awake throughout the day. It tends to help out in the evenings. He's a little bit less likely to wake me up the whole night. And so, what are you looking at? Ain't nothing out there. So yes, no, Tino is doing very well. He has been greatly enjoying his home ownership. And now he just sits in his house and watches me work all day. And so he's living high on the hog. He's up on a pedestal. He's already retired and done. He's just sitting there, making certain that I work hard enough, I guess. Oh, Kukla, he does. He sleeps in the bed. So he sleeps in the bed most of the night. Occasionally he gets kicked out, and that is just because he makes a bit too much noise. And sometimes I do have to occasionally send Tino out of the room just because he keeps waking me up. He's got too much energy. But I always try to let him stay for the evening. If I can. So though, let's go ahead and actually jump into the quick little beginning of the video before we go into the news or anything of that nature. So over here, our Book of Meow. We bought Book of Meow somewhere way down here on Wednesday. We bought it way down here. We spent about $100 on the Book of Meow. And needless to say, we've made a little money. We've made a little money. And so we are going to be taking a little bit of that money out today. That way we don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to remove our initial investment and we are going to leave the rest to see where it goes. And so our $100 has turned into $331 in the past 2 days. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take out somewhere close to $100 so that we no longer have to worry about it. And so in order to do that, we're going to come over here to Radium. We're going to make certain that we have the contract address for the book of Meow. And it looks like we may have to refresh the page. All right, no, we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and hit enter on that one. Apparently our wallet was not connected, so we're going to go ahead and get that fixed. So now we are connected. We want Solana as what we are paid out on. And we would like to sell about 4 million of our Meow. So we're going to actually go through and most likely finish that one out. Oh, no, not 4 million, 4,000. Yeah, that was far too high. I was adding in some zeros. So we're going to go ahead and, well, we're a little bit below. So let's actually add in 4,500. That way we have our full principal back out. And so we're going to go ahead and click swap. And we're going to click confirm. And hopefully we are going to see our transaction confirmed quickly, in which case we can go ahead and sit back and know that we have all of our money out of our meme coin purchase. And so we're sitting happily in the green. The only issue we may encounter right now is that the Solana blockchain is extremely busy. And so we may have a hard time actually getting our transaction confirmed. But while we do wait to see if that works, let's go through and do more hellos. What is up, Mile High Trish? And the Petty Sock, welcome. Thank you so much for joining today and for finding us. We have a lot of fun. We mainly focus on education when it comes to crypto, but occasionally we dive into the world of a little bit of memery. And so that is what we have done. And so we are going to be taking some of our profits out on that side today. And then we'll be going into the news. So hopefully, while all of our delays occur in terms of the price action, we don't see any major drops from Meow. But it's looking pretty good over here. No matter what, we have made money, so we're not worrying about it. But we do seem to be having an issue getting the transaction confirmed. This has been a regular issue on Radium on account of the massive degree of congestion on the Solana network. And so you'll even see that we're getting a warning specifically from our Phantom wallet saying Solana is experiencing network congestion. It's just what's happening. And so we are going to have to probably fight a bit in order to actually get this transaction through. But we're going to go for it because we want our money back. So let's go ahead and actually increase our slippage tolerance just to see if that helps out. And we're going to accept the price update. We'll go for that swap again, same amount. And we'll see if our transaction goes through this time. This one is one of those things where we could go through a different service. We could go through a bot service in order to ensure that our transactions go through. But that is an added degree of complexity. And so I'm trying to go through and do things with the most easily accessible services so that everyone else can see it happen. And so in this case, unfortunately, David, with Solana, I can't really just add more gas to the transaction. But I can sit here. And so we're just going to kind of go through our day of interaction and our news and everything else while we kind of sit back and we wait for that transaction to go through. We'll probably have to try it a few different times. I've been having major issues with Radium. I have been making purchases on other Solana meme coins and on other different things on the Radium platform. and I've been faced with issues the vast majority of the time. And so from what I can see, it seems to be primarily focused on just congestion. But one of our transactions is going to go through. But before we go into anything more, though, thank you so much, Kukla. Of course, everything inside of this podcast is for general and educational purposes and is not intended to provide professional or financial advice. Please consider everything discussed by Crazy Kryptonaut to be opinion only. Thank you so much, Kukla, for always posting that. It is so important. I do try to forget far too often. Far too often I try to forget. What's up, Abundant? Carla Marie says, Kukla21, this is hard for me to understand, but I'm going to go listen to all the past videos. Definitely, Carla, definitely. Start from the beginning on those because it is a lot to absorb. It is not an easy thing to just jump right into. There is so much going on. There's a lot of foundation before you're going to be able to pick up on some of the different words that are used, and you'll be able to really start to understand what is happening. Oh, blessed to be blessed. Is Pops cruising? Can't wait. LOL. I have a bit of knowledge on that front. Blessed. I do have a bit of knowledge, and so I'm going to hold that back and leave that to be his exciting reveals instead of my own. But I think everyone's going to be quite pleased very, very soon in regards to seeing what's going on that side. And so feeling good about that one. Feeling good about that one. So we're continuing to sit here and try to get this transaction confirmed. We are absolutely having issues in regards to that one. We may try and go through and change gas and see if you've got it, David. Maybe if we pay for the privilege, that ends up being the answer. To my knowledge, what I thought was occurring was a matter of just pure congestion. But what if we do come in? And yeah, that was what I was thinking, though. See, when it comes to Solana and it comes to Radium, it doesn't let us overpay. And so that just leaves us sitting here and waiting to see which transaction goes through. So unfortunately, I don't know a way on Radium. I know that if you utilize different exchanges, you do have the ability to increase your gas and potentially be able to influence it that way. Oh, Kukla, he is going to be making a reveal. I actually was not aware of that one. I'll have to give him a call. I have been slammed with work throughout today, so I have not gotten an opportunity to really chat with him. I did get to check it out yesterday. As a matter of fact, I think I technically was the first person to drive it around, at least to drive it around for an extended period of time. But that was just a matter of getting it into place so that he could get in the chair. So I'm very excited for everyone to get to see what is going on that side. But we continue to have issues over here with Radium. We have yet to get our transaction through. We can see that Meow remains going kind of crazy. We are having a bit of a little pullback. So I would really appreciate getting that transaction through quickly so that I can go ahead and have my principal. But lag does not seem to be allowing that to occur. And so we're just going to continue flooding it throughout the live stream today until we do get our transaction through. Yep, because we have yet to achieve that. So yeah, we will continue messing around with it until we do succeed, and we will succeed because I don't take no for an answer, and I'd like my money back. So we will figure that one out. But until we do, let's go back to the chat. So HK Wiz, honestly, just after listening for a few weeks now, I'm starting to feel more comfortable in understanding crypto lingo, listening to other podcasts too, and actually understanding a bit. I am super, super, super glad to hear that, HK. And it does. It just takes really digging into it. You will get those answers. You will start to learn. It takes time. And it's a lot about learning a whole new language. Once you kind of understand the language, then you're able to go in and actually understand if people are telling you things that are true or if people are telling you things that they just made up. And so the petty sock, of course, I would biased as can be, I would say, well, my YouTube channel is the best crypto site for beginners. But for those that are looking to actually start trading or would like to purchase different cryptocurrencies, I always suggest Coinbase. So petty sock, if I were to suggest any service or exchange to go ahead and sign up with, it would absolutely be Coinbase. If you assuming you are a US resident. And of course, I am making that assumption. HK said, just understanding what they're talking about is so nice. It is. It is. And now it isn't. They're not speaking French anymore. At least the rest of us can all kind of keep up with it. And so, yeah, absolutely. David, yep, Zester can teach us old dogs new tricks. I can definitely try. And I have no doubt that everyone can pick up on all these things. Absolutely zero doubt that everyone in the community, if they do choose to put the time forward and to keep learning, I guaranteed you will learn. It will make sense. It's just not always going to be the most fun process at the beginning. It is going to take putting the effort in, unfortunately. But as they say, there's nothing worth learning that isn't a little bit of work. And so crypto is essentially gate kept from the vast majority of people because of the learning curve. People would be able to have far more opportunities and options on how they choose to spend their dollars if they did have easy access to crypto. The technological barrier that still exists to this day does keep many people from participating. And so that barrier is going to continue to lower over the years. Matter of fact, it gets easier every month. We see services every month that make things simpler and simpler. As a matter of fact, one of the services that we looked at on Wednesday in one of our videos, actually Changely over here, I feel like for many people, this likely could make things much, much easier. And so as we continue to learn how these different tools are employed, how we use Changely to help ourselves out with cross-chain transactions, how we use Coinbase to help us out with on-ramping our dollars from our bank account to crypto, how we see decentralized exchanges like the ones that we've used so far, which we've used Radium and we've used Uniswap, which allow us to access tokens that are outside of the centralized world. It allows us to trade without giving up our information anymore. And so as we continue to learn how to employ these different tools, we're going to see that everything becomes easier. I'm certain that before too long, someone will ask you, well, how do you do this? And you'll just go, oh, well, that's easy. You just go from this to this to this and you're done. Or you just go and you employ Changely and you have your wallet ready. These things they're easy once you know. They're extremely difficult until you actually get shown them working. Then they start to make sense. And so I would say, guys, I did have a video that I was planning on releasing today showing people how to actually participate in a pre-sale. That video is half recorded because the trading pool has yet to launch. And so there will be another video that is coming out showing people how to actually participate in buying into tokens during pre-sale. So before they've even entered into open trading. And that video will happen as soon as the pool is finished and trading goes live. So that video is something to look forward to this weekend. I'm happy to share it. Of course, keep in mind that any of my videos regarding memes or any of my videos regarding anything should not be assumed as financial advice, especially when it comes to meme tokens. You should be even more scrutinizing with how it's working. I mean, look at the issues we're having. So we've made money. I can see it. My money is way up, But even now, I am having a difficult time getting a transaction through. And so we are going to sit here and remain somewhat patient on that front. But we may end up having to go through and utilize a different service in order to actually make the transaction happen. Because I am somewhat curious. We should not be seeing these kind of long delays on a blockchain. The reason we are is because Solana has become so incredibly popular over the past few months, and that has resulted in essentially a stress issue. Solana has never been stress tested to this degree, and it is currently happening. And of course, that is resulting in delays. Those delays are extremely unfortunate. I know that from operating projects, they cause huge problems, but we just have to deal with it. We know that we've made money. We know we're nowhere close to losing any of our dollars, and so we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep throwing transactions in until one succeeds, and I will look to actually put up a video showing people a different way to interact with decentralized exchanges whenever situations like this occur. All right, though. Well, as we continue to wait on that and put our transactions in, let's jump into the crypto news of the day. And so we have this one coming out of CoinDesk, and this really ties into a lot about what we have discussed in our previous live streams. I've discussed the fact that we saw Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs kind of start to overpredict the price action of the Bitcoin halving. And so this article essentially is another talking head who's agreeing with me. Did strong Bitcoin ETF demand kill halving's potential bullish rally? The much stronger than expected inflows into the spot Bitcoin exchange, traded funds, ETFs, have already caused concerns about a supply shock in the Bitcoin market, potentially taking away some of the impacts of the halving. And now, of course, this is an opinion-based piece, and you know that they're pulling from different facts in regards to inflows and outflows, but you know they're still speculating to a degree. But they do have some really good ones here. So on the surface, there may be a case as the demand from the funds has been significantly more than 900 new Bitcoin that are mined daily. And when that supply gets cut in half, it might create an even bigger pull on the prices. However, it might not play out the same way this time. The price of Bitcoin has rallied 46% since January 11th, when the spot ETF started trading in the United States. The demands from these funds have been so strong that the price of the digital asset rallied to a new all-time high to keep up with the onslaught of Bitcoin purchases. But the market may have gotten a bit ahead of itself in the hype. And so this is what I have been talking about now for a while, guys, is that I think we have seen the vast majority of investors go ahead and price in the Bitcoin halving presumptively. They went ahead and they started acting as if Bitcoin's supply had already reduced, and they started buying in anticipation of that event. That is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something that we do need to keep in mind. That means that we can't buy now and expect the Bitcoin halving price rally to ensure that we triple, quadruple our money, because we should have done that back in December, back in November, back in October. That is when we should have been looking at getting in. We should have been going ahead and presumptively going before the speculators show up. So that's essentially what I've been saying. What this article and what many other articles have been sharing is that because of ETF demand, we've already seen the vast majority of price rise on Bitcoin. That's not to say we're not going to see more as the halving gets closer and closer. Keep in mind the halving is counting down. We should expect it in a matter of under 2 weeks. In less than 2 weeks, we should see the Bitcoin halving occur. And so it will be somewhere right around that time period, somewhere between, I think it's somewhere between April 16th and April 20th are the final expectations now on that block being mined. And so we need to keep in mind that when that does occur, the market's going to go even more volatile than it currently is. because the market's been anticipating it. And that means when it does happen, there's going to be a lot of built up anticipation that is going to be released upon the market, whether that be people who thought that the price was going to go higher, whether that is people who thought that the price is still too low and they want to buy. We're going to see that action from both sides. We're going to see potentially we see ETFs having major outflows on certain days. And so that means major sales. And also potentially we see ETFs having major inflows because the market isn't really certain what to do with the halvening yet. We're not certain. We don't know how the miners are going to react. We don't know how the new ETFs are going to react. Keep in mind, the ETFs are a new thing for this halvening. We haven't had those in the past. We've had institutional investors in the form of corporations that were making large purchases into Bitcoin, but we've never had actual ETFs. We haven't had the likes of BlackRock, Grayscale, and ARK, and all these others having a direct effect on the market in the way they do today. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be extremely interesting to see because we know that the money continues to flow in. And we see that. We can easily go through and look at the inflows and outflows on a daily basis and confirm it. But what is that money going to do? Those new dollars, the noobs, because they are new to the industry. You know, the vast majority of people buying into these ETFs have never participated in cryptocurrency. How they are going to react is going to be interesting. But these articles, as always, will be inside of the daily links. So please do go over there and check them out because I have got a few interesting ones today. So jumping on over here, what does Ripple stablecoin mean for XRP? XRP has plenty of internet fans, but Ripple has struggled to win real enterprise customers. Will its new stablecoin fill the gap and overshadow its existing token? So this is, of course, an opinion-based piece. Opinion. And I am not saying that I agree with Daniel Kuhn here, but we are going to listen to a little bit of what he has to say. And he says that Ripple has declared the death of XRP. Well, to be fair, to be accurate, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has said the exact opposite when announcing the Silicon Valley crypto mainstay would launch a US dollar-pegged stablecoin later this year. But in the grand scheme of things, XRP's usefulness is dwindling. Sorry, XRP Army, it's my job to speak to how it is. This is, of course, Daniel Kuhn's words. I am in no way endorsing what Daniel has to say here, but I do feel like we all need to make certain that we keep up with the different opinions inside of the space because I know the XRP Army is large. And I do have videos that I will be making discussing Ripple and discussing its price opportunities in the future. Those will be coming out very, very soon. But continuing on here, for what we do have in front of us, the Ripple stablecoin expected later this year will apparently be backed 1-to-1 by cash equivalents, including US dollar deposits, US government bonds, and other low-risk investments, according to the company's announcement. The idea is reportedly to create a more trustworthy alternative to assets like Tether and Circle's USDC. And so, indeed, as many others have pointed out, the $150 billion stablecoin market is crowded, but it is also highly lucrative. And so Ripple is looking to make a move into the stablecoin market. I thought that was particularly interesting. I know how many people in the community are Ripple holders. And so I would highly, highly recommend checking out this article inside of the links because it doesn't mean that anything has really changed in terms of your investment thesis, but it does mean you should be looking towards it because this is actually something that I would discuss at some point. Ripple is better off with a stablecoin. In all honesty, the Ripple service makes no sense with a fluctuating and a floating priced token. They are trying to create international transactions. If they are trying to facilitate international transactions, the last thing they want is volatility of the price. And so I think this is probably something that Ripple participants, Ripple holders need to really pay attention to. This is probably the future of Ripple's business model. This is what Ripple's been building that technology for. They've been building it for a stablecoin. They've been building it with a floating crypto, but what they've been always focused on is creating something that could actually be used to facilitate cross-border trades. And a floating cryptocurrency is useless for that. It's absolutely useless. What am I going to do? All right, so I have 100 cars, and I'm in Japan, and I would like to sell a U.S. investor my 100 cars. And so I go ahead and I take that transaction, and in the time between me getting the Ripple and them getting the cars, between the time it takes for that entire transaction to occur, maybe Ripple drops by 25%. I just took payment for 100 cars in Ripple, and I got screwed. And so having a fluctuating and floating currency really doesn't make sense. And so I think this is actually an extremely positive move for XRP. This actually allows them to do what they intended to do. They intend to facilitate international commerce. If they had a stable coin, they'd actually be capable of that. Their current token really doesn't work to do that. It never has. It really never will. And so this would allow them to fulfill their dreams in terms of their actual business model. And so I am going to be keeping up with this one closely, because this is, to me, this is an amazing sign. This is great news for Ripple. I know many people in Ripple may not view it that way, but I personally view this as an extremely good sign. All right. What do we got here? Robert Jones, I purchased a Ledger Nano S Plus to move my XLM off Lobster Wallet, but when I fired up my laptop to use my Nano because of the USB connector, I signed into Lobster Wallet, but my XLM is gone. Help. Robert, first things first, please do send that into the ticket system. If you have sent it into the ticket system, I am sorry I have not seen it yet, Robert, but I will be looking at that as soon as the stream is over. In all honesty, I highly doubt your XLM has gone anywhere. I really think that the correct answer would be calm. It always is the correct answer. When it comes down to it, there is no logic behind that having anything to do with it. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. The only thing I would be worried about is if you did anything besides that. But your XLM is probably sitting right there. I am very, 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 very confident. So please do shoot me those details inside of the Discord ticket system. I will make certain as soon as the stream ends that is the first thing that I jump into, and I look and see what it is that is going on, Robert. But my suggestion, as always, don't keep your crypto on Lobster Wallet. Don't keep your crypto on Uphold. Keep your crypto on the ledger, because the rest of this doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. So please do send those messages along, Robert. I will make certain to help out to the best of my ability. When it comes down to it, judging by your description, there is nothing wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong. So, all right, jumping back onto our news, we do have our next articles. So, of course, remember we talked about this one on Wednesday. Cryptocurrency loves to discuss the broader economy and look at it from different angles. So, of course, the U.S. added 303,000 jobs in March, outpacing expectations for 200K. I don't believe any of this. I don't believe the government numbers. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's true. I know far too many people who are sitting out there in the attempted workforce, people that are sitting out there unemployed, that are trying to get jobs, that are overqualified for their jobs, that are willing to accept infinitely lower than what they're being asked. If I were a gambling man, the United States added 303,000 illegal jobs in March. We added 303,000 jobs to illegal immigrants. That would actually, I would completely believe that number. As a matter of fact, I'm almost positive that's where those jobs came from, because I personally know that American citizens are not getting those jobs. And so that in and of itself is complete bull hockey. Bull hockey. Hopefully that's not considered a negative word. My apologies. I try to keep my French to a minimum on the streams, but when it comes down to it, it's bull crap. It's bull crap. I know so many people that are desperately trying to find work right now who are qualified for their jobs. This is crap. Absolute crap. I don't believe one part of it. I strongly believe those jobs, if they even exist, those jobs did not go to American citizens. That is not where they went. They went to go ahead and continue to fuel the Biden administration's attempts to destroy the United States economy. As far as I'm concerned, that's all his administration has tried to do. And so I'll get off of my podium and quit preaching and get back to the news. But I saw this article and it made me mad. It just genuinely made me mad. I had already seen the article from other outlets, from, the CNBCs, the Forbes, and everyone else. But to see it once again, when I thought I was in my safe space of cryptocurrency away from the political jargon, I then see it again, and I could not resist bringing it up and I guess ranting a little bit. So we will continue forward and leave my political beliefs alone. So continuing forward, warning for altcoin bulls. The Ether Bitcoin ratio is about to flash a death cross. A death cross occurs when a short-term moving average drops below the long-term moving average, signaling a potential long-term bearish shift in momentum. And so this is, of course, well, it's an opinion piece, but a death cross is a technical analysis term. And so, as he stated, a death cross occurs when a short-term moving average, and so that's just the general average that a cryptocurrency is moving, or any other asset. You can use the same death cross inside of the stock market. It's when the short-term moving average drops below the long-term moving average. And in regards to this, I mean, it's another opinion for you to consider looking into. But I know from having studied technical analysis that technical analysis is a load of crap. Anyone that believes that it's more than that in the cryptocurrency space just enjoys listening to their own opinions. When it comes down to it, fundamental analysis is what really matters. Technical analysis is important in a very, very small amount of times. Like I can look at a chart based off of resistance levels and make a far better decision than you can with your Fibonacci sequence. I can easily look at a chart and decide based off of resistances whether your technical analysis makes sense. It doesn't mean I can make a prediction about where the price is going. And I think that a lot of folks get a little too engaged in these. I know that I'm going to have somebody jump into the comments now after I just to the technical analysis guys, it is sacrilege to tell them that what they do is not scientific. But it's not scientific. It's not science. It's no different than someone who looks at these stars and makes their determination based off of them the vast majority of the time. There are certain parts of technical analysis that make a lot of sense. In regards to this story, I wouldn't even worry about it. Matter of fact, I'm pretty certain that the same death cross has also been called the Holy Trinity before. And so, like, depending on which way they view the cross, they decide whether it's positive or negative news. This is no different than going out and deciding because a bird pooped on you that it's your lucky day. It was just bad luck. It was just bad luck. So I'm not going to put anything into this one, but I am going to share it so people can go in there and check it out. We do have another one. Ripple's chief legal officer blasts the SEC over crypto regulation. XRP lawsuit. Get off your soapbox. I loved this one. And now that Ripple is sitting in such so much better of a position, since the SEC lawsuit. It is funny to watch them troll a little bit. And so XRP, Ripple, they are trolling the SEC at the moment. I thought that was too much fun. And so I thought I had to go ahead and include that real quick. Man, we are not having any luck over here though with getting this swap through. And so I actually may be releasing another short video that I'll be recording right after the live stream. I was absolutely hoping that this would work out so that I could show you guys live taking that profit. It may be that I have to record the video of taking that profit because it seems as if Radium is just not going to let me get a transaction through. I have increased slippage tolerance and it's not working. And so I'll be providing a update trying to troubleshoot other companies' issues with their technology because I know in this situation, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with Solana and Radium. So we are going to be keeping an eye on that one. Although I do feel very good about my book of Meow. So I'm not all that worried about getting the money out immediately. I feel very comfortable that book of Meow is going to continue to grow. It is sitting at a $15.79 million market cap. Of course, do not in any way assume what I am saying is financial advice. And please understand that meme coins like this are gambling. This is gambling. I just happen to be sitting in a decent spot, but it does not change that what occurred was gambling. So please, please, please do not go throwing money that is important into things like this. This is truly, truly, truly a matter of speculation. So as we continue forward to the next of our articles, crypto VC funding surges in Q1 of 2024, breaking a 2-year downtrend. And so venture capitalist funds, that's what they're talking about with VC. Those are financial institutions, wealthy investors who are putting money in ahead. They are venture capitalists. And so we used to see massive, massive amounts of dollars back in 2021, back in 2017. We saw VC funding hit record levels. And we have seen a bit of a slouch in that one. This is, of course, a net positive for the bulls in the crowd. If you are planning on crypto continuing on an upward trend, this is good news. This is particularly good news because we are seeing more and more funding before these projects go live. That means these projects enter into the market on a far more sound financial basis. That means projects are launched and they already have millions of dollars in the coffers. And that means they're able to market. That means they're able to develop. And so high VC funding is a great sign for projects that are going to be coming out soon. I would always say when it comes to the venture capitalist funds and it comes to the way they spend their dollars, they're not the brightest. And so I would not chase them in terms of the projects they choose. But I do think there's a lot to be said for the general fact that they are willing to throw the kind of money they do into things. And so that is a net positive because the people that are actually crypto savvy usually end up taking the venture capitalist money in the long term. And that is not always the case. There are certain projects that have released with huge VC funding that have been smashing successes. Thinking right off the top of my head, I remember The Graph was a VC funded project. I remember CeeLo was a VC funded project. I'm certain I know a dozen more, but when you try to think of things right off the top of your head, you only get a few. Those are ones that I can think of that really took advantage of the VC funding and it went to huge levels. And so this is just a net positive when it comes down to it for the whole market. It means more money is flowing in and it means more money from institutions, from traditional finance is flowing into crypto. And that is always a positive. The more money that enters, the stronger everything is going to be, regardless of what crypto you hold. All right, going back to everybody's favorite boogeyman. BlackRock updates Bitcoin ETFs and adds 5 different Wall Street firms. And so BlackRock's new additions include ABN AMRO, Citadel, which is a big group, Citigroup, another big one. Goldman Sachs, another flipping big one. And UBS Securities, another huge one. And so this means we are about to see 5 other Wall Street firms' liquidity pour into the Bitcoin ETF. This has got to be some of the most bullish news I could possibly imagine. That is as bullish as it gets. That is 3 hours ago from Anna Paula Pereira, that BlackRock's new additions. I know there were some other outlets that had reported this earlier. This is just the article that I had pulled up. But this could lead to billions and billions of more dollars flowing in. BlackRock is not claiming that they will be personally handling the actual funds. They are essentially allowing all of these other major financial firms to come in and start their own funds and manage it themselves. That is insanely bullish news. I mean, I really can't. I'm going to be keeping up closely on this one. And the fact that we could see effectively all of these other firms come into the space and start pouring in dollars from their own customers, that could be huge. I mean, BlackRock and Grayscale are some of the biggest, but they do not control the entire market. This could be huge. This could absolutely end up being the point where we point towards it and say, we predicted the new Bitcoin high. We could absolutely potentially point to this singular moment and that be the catalyst that sends us that way. But all of these, of course, will be inside of the links. So let's jump over to this one. Continuing our saga from FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. FTX's state sold $1.9 billion of Solana at a discounted price. And so FTX and SBF were some of the major investors in the Solana ecosystem. And a large reason that Solana's price is suddenly back up and doing so well, and Solana tokens are doing so well, is because FTX doesn't have any more of it. And so that is what drug Solana's price down to $6 back in 2022. Solana was $6. Solana right now is $180 a coin. Its price was driven down to $6 because FTX owned the vast majority of it. And so this is not only kind of a continuation of the SBF saga, it is also tying in the reason that we have been seeing Solana prices and we have been seeing Solana tokens doing so well. These two things are actually directly correlated. SBF is the reason. Sam Bankman-Fried is actually the reason, and FTX. All of these things occurring at the specific times that they did and then leading up to this moment are the reason that we have seen Solana do so well in the past couple of months, and also why we have seen so much news about FTX in correlation with Solana. It's because FTX's holdings have finally started to reach a point where they are actually dwindling. And that means you no longer have to expect somebody to be selling Solana at a discounted price. I would expect this to actually be the reason we've seen some fragility in Solana's price. Solana did exceed beyond $200 per coin, and it has seen some resistance at that point. It is currently trading at $175.87. I wouldn't be surprised to hear that this news, people that were immediately in the profit and started selling, aren't the culprits. So continuing forward, this one I am not going to go through, but I am going to present to everyone. This is entirely an opinion piece, but I noticed a few favorites of the community were in here. And so I wanted to make certain that everyone got this article and they got to check that one out. And they got to see what Rakesh here's opinion is on XRP in terms of where the price is going to be going. So with those covered up, absolutely, Mile High Trish, I appreciate that. If you guys would not mind, please do hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. I actually am going to be going on a comment and a ticket crusade this weekend. And so I am planning on going through the YouTube comments since the beginning of the channel and the Discord tickets and getting every answer I possibly can out there this weekend. So I would absolutely appreciate that interaction with the YouTube video. And please do, if you have got an open ticket inside a Discord, please plan on responding this weekend. I have had a decent amount of people open up tickets, send a message. I respond to them. It has been weeks, and that makes it very difficult to check things off the list. So please, guys, when you go in there this weekend, be checking the tickets. I know that I have been overwhelmed, and so do not feel bad if you have not gotten a response for a short amount of time. It is not because I don't want to. It is just because there's a lot. And so please, guys, if you do have open tickets this weekend, be checking them. I am going to be responding to every single ticket that has an open question. I'm going to be responding to every single comment on YouTube and Rumble that has an open question. So please be checking for it this weekend. I can't always put that kind of time towards it, but I am going to make it happen this weekend no matter what I have to do. I am going to do that in order to ensure that we go ahead and we kind of clear the books of old information, old questions. So with all of that covered, I will go into a little bit of what, unfortunately, the video I was hoping to release. I have been recording this video now for hours today, and unfortunately, I have had issues. I was trying to show people how to participate in a pre-sale on the Pink Sale platform. Pink Sale allows for tokens to have pre-sales, so you get to buy them before they're trading. And I went in and I contributed 1.5 Solana to buy SpongeBob, and the team has not confirmed the transaction yet. And so I was desperately hoping to have another video that was actually supposed to be launched right after this live stream. I was pretty certain that I was building towards a video launch today. Unfortunately, the team is not allowing that to happen. And so I will be releasing the continuation of that video as soon as the team confirms the fair launch. And the only reason I wanted to do that was because I had people asking me, we've seen all these crazy comments. We've seen everybody say crazy things about Solana. What's happening? I wanted people to at least be able to understand it, at least see how you would do it. That doesn't mean I was suggesting people go out and do it. And I'm not saying participate, but I wanted you to at least understand what is happening, because there's a lot of learning that can go on inside of it. So that video will be getting released as soon as the SpongeBob SquarePants team decides to go ahead and finalize it. You cannot buy. It is already finished. I was recording everything through it. I've been trying to record the launch because I wanted to show everyone how crazy a cryptocurrency launch is. It's absolute pandemonium when a new crypto launches. The chart is nuts. The Telegram, the Twitter, the everything are insanity. And I really wanted to be able to record that and show it to everyone today. I had everything planned out, and unfortunately, that video is delayed. So please do look forward to that video coming out. Also, look forward to a very, very short video coming out, because I don't take no well when it comes down to selling my cryptocurrency. I'm very upset about that. And so I'm going to find out how to get this transaction through. And I'm going to be putting out a video showing everyone how, because it's my money and I'd like to sell it. I'd like my principal back out. I am certain that this is not the actual token's fault. I know what the issue is. I know it's congestion on the network. And so I'm not angry in terms of that. I'm not worried in terms of that. I know that my money is there. My money is safe. But I wanted to show everyone us taking out our initial principal, and it has kept me from doing that. And so I'm going to go and actually record a video immediately with a fix for that. So please do look for that short video this evening. Otherwise, I will be over at the original Mark Z, most likely at 7 p.m. If anything, just watching And so I hope to see everyone over there also. And absolutely, if you don't mind, please do hit the thumbs up. And also check out my video library now. We are starting to get to a point where we're actually building, where we're starting to get enough education where there's really a little bit to look into. And so if you have not gone through and looked at our recorded videos, the recorded videos from now on will be the hardcore classes. That is where I will be specifically showing you how to accomplish goals on the blockchains, on any blockchain, whether it's Solana or any other one. Please do check those out. From now on, all of our simplified classes, our real lessons are going to be focused inside of this recorded videos. We are going to be focusing more on the news and more on answering questions that people have from the videos, more on Q&A than we are on specifically trying to go through a lesson live. I will say, for one last little sneak peek at Monday, our Coinbase earns started earning money. And so we are earning money over here. Look forward to the update on how much we've earned on Monday, because Monday we will be seeing what we have earned. And so you'll see that we are making money. We haven't made a penny yet, but we have technically made something. And so all of our staked cryptos are working. Remember, some of them only pay on certain time periods. And so we will be keeping up with that one. I am looking forward to checking it on Monday, where we should have a decent amount of changes that have actually occurred in regards to the prices. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Please look forward to a video or two coming out this weekend. Specifically, I'm about to run through recording a video selling my book of Meow so that everyone can see that one. I take it very seriously when it comes down to it. When you have made profit, you take your principal out. And so I am going to be putting that video out. I stick to it when it comes down to it. It's really the main difference behind the people that do particularly well when it comes to buying these small caps and the people that don't. People that do well take their principal out. And so I'm going to be getting that video out immediately. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. David, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, Kukla, you are an absolute godsend. Thank you so much for helping out. And I hope that the community keeps it pretty nice for you. From what I can see, we're a pretty tame bunch around here, but it is a huge help. Thank you so much. Abundant 8, thank you. Thank you. Donna, the Pet Petty, thank you guys so much. And Trish, I'm certain there are more. HK and Captain Spiffy, thank you guys so much for tuning in. But I will see y'all soon. Bye now.